So welcome back, Drifters. Don't mind the upside down LS3. We're finishing that thing up today, getting it ready to go over to Chris's house because today is D-Day, and this LS3 is going back into his Corvette. Now, I don't want to say that we're going to start his car today. I hope that we can, but most likely not because there's a ton of work between now and actually getting to turn this thing over. So ultimately, the goal for today is to get this engine from my garage over to Chris's garage and into the Corvette. So let's do it. So the first thing that we need to do from where we left off is get the oil pan on. So one thing about the OEM oil pan gasket is that they're riveted in, which is kind of weird. I don't know why they did that, I guess to make it more secure, but it makes it a pain when you got to exchange it because then you got to actually pull them out. Now I managed to pull them out, but one of them I actually had to cut out using an angle grinder. So that was kind of a little bit of a pain, but you know, hey, we got it out, so we're good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get the new gasket, put that thing on there, get this thing tightened up. We got to tighten up the rear main seal as well as the front seal. And then we should have an engine pretty much ready to go. We just got to do the clutch and all that other good stuff. So let's do it. All right, so we got the RTV on these suckers, and now we're just getting ready to do the oil pan. Now normally you'd use a little centering tool for the front and the rear, but we're not really doing that. We're just gonna kind of line this thing up as best we can and get that oil pan on. So yeah, oil pan going on. Nice and snug. There she is. So now we're just torquing down the bolts. We got to do the ones on the back cover and the front cover last. But yeah, we're just getting these things torqued on there and we should be good to go on to the next step. Alright, so we finally got the engine back together pretty much. So what we need to do now is get it off the stand and then work on putting the pressure plate, the bell housing, all that fun stuff together. So that's what we're going to do.
We're off.
Hey, look at that. Okay, so now we're getting the flywheel ready to go on. Basically, we just need to clean it up a bit. We're going to put on some ARP bolts, and then we'll put on the clutch and pressure plate. So we're making some serious progress.
Dang it, I was driving with a throw-out bearing.
Oh, careful, you okay?
He's not worried.
Yeah, no, those things hurt. I've dropped that shit on my hand before, and it busted my knuckle wide open. Whew, that was sketch. Whew, I jumped on that one. That's why we gotta be careful with the flywheels.
Oh, good.
How the teeth look? They look okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see where I made it indent.
Oh yeah, you can see the flywheel. Alright, so we managed to get the clutch, the pressure plate, the flywheel, all that good stuff on there. And now we just gotta load this puppy up in the truck. Looks like we got this sucker in, so now we just gotta get it over to the house. Alright, so we made it out, and now we just got to pull the engine off and get ready to put it in. Cool. Now comes the fun part. Now we got to put it in there. So as things would have it, we don't know where the engine bolts are, so we don't have engine bolts to put onto the engine mounts. So we can't put the engine in today, so we're going to have to do that hopefully here very soon, but we're going to have to get bolts. So it is what it is, but that's how these things go. Alright everybody, we're back. We happened to get the bolts. It took Summit all of like 2 days. We got them in, so now it's time to finally get this engine dropped into the Corvette. This is going to be a long process, so we're probably just going to do a quick little time lapse and kind of speed it up for y'all so that way we're not wasting all your time. So let's do it. Oh yeah, one thing I wanted to point out real quick is that this leveler here is going to be super key on getting this thing on the torque tube. That's probably going to be the hardest part about this whole thing. So yeah, this thing helped us a lot the first time around, and hopefully this time it will too. So wish us luck. I guess we just, it's YOLO time. Change that angle of that dangle. You know what I'm saying?
There's a pretty significant angle on it.
Yeah. What was that?
The bolt for
Oh fuck.
God.
Damn it. Thanks, Bobby. Where did that bolt go?
I haven't seen an engine in here for a while.
Yeah, I know, right? Wow. The thing that's really giving us trouble right now is the AC compressor. It's just trying to get these bolts in here. There's not a lot of room, as you can see. And we got to get that in before we get the engine in, because otherwise there's just no other way to do it. So, yeah, fun times. So we got the compressor on. Now we just need to work on getting this thing lined up on the torque tube, and we should be good, hopefully.
They're near
There's a
AC.
nut on one of those, isn't there? Yeah, there's a nut. That's it. That's the one. I knew there was a nut on that bitch.
I know my nuts.
I know my nuts pretty well. Nice and slow. There you go, right there. That's good, that's good, that's good. Yeah. It's so close I can see the hole.
Ooh, that's a nice hole.
That's a very nice hole. Yeah, so we may end up turning the splines a bit to try to line it up, because I think the torque tube's like right there, but the splines aren't quite meshing yet, so we're gonna try that.
Where the fuck is our fancy dancy tool?
Good question.
I turned it a little bit.
It feels like there's something stopping us.
Oh, I think I may. The stupid ass bracket.
Is the bracket?
I think it was.
Oh yeah, it is. A little bracket got in the way. And I don't see anything else we're hitting on other than
It's
that
clear.
thing. It's gotta be
It's
just
fucking clear.
it's gotta just be an alignment issue. It's probably just needs to come like 1 degree one way or another and slide in.
Trying to find a level.
Wait a second. I think I found the problem. Yep, there's the problem. AC condenser's hitting the engine bracket. We can't push it all the way on.
So we have to lower that bitch.
So that right there is what we've been hung up on this whole time. The air compressor or AC compressor is hitting the engine mount. So yeah, we got it. One of those two have got to go. So like you get that side, I get this side.
Oh, okay.
We shift the subframe back. We only need like ½ inch. And
Okay.
you can see the subframe's not lined up. Yeah, there you go. That's the room we need. Right there. That should give us the space. Can it go back? It's close. I mean, we can line it up now. But now we know for sure we're not hitting on anything, right?
Yeah.
Fucking hell. It's so close. There's literally nothing for this thing to hit on. It does not want to go in the tube.
Oh, if Austin can do it, we can do it.
Did Austin do this?
No, if we can get in the tube, if he can get in the tube, we can get in the tube.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, shit.
Austin, give us your powers.
Yeah, try pushing. Yeah, it's not. Alright, you ready, Chris?
Oh, shake. Don't rush me, woman.
My bad. This is a workout. I'm just getting weak. Ready? I don't understand. Corvettes. I mean, look at that leveler. That looks like straight up level as fuck. It's just like the BRZ.
Really is.
This is like BRZ 2.0. Okay, so if you can see inside there, that is what we're trying to get lined up. That's the end of the torque tube, and it's going into the back of the pressure plate and the clutch. So, yeah, it's kind of a finicky little bastard to line up, but we're almost there. So, guys, after countless hours of fiddling with this dang torque tube, it's finally in. So,
Corvette.
yeah, don't buy a Corvette. But it's good. So now all we got to do is basically get the subframe and all that other fun stuff. And yeah, so we're just going to be attaching a whole bunch of bits and bobs. So here we go. So this is what we're doing right now. We're trying to line those bolts up so that way we can pull this thing all the way up. But it is a little bit of a shimmy and a shake to make it work. You can see we got the rack out, so we just need space so we can finish getting this harmonic balancer on, but we're almost there. So we got the subframe up, and now we got to get these engine mounts in, so one step closer. So it's almost 3 a.m. again, and we have the engine in. We couldn't get 2 of the engine mount bolts just because they're kind of being a pain, so we're going to come back and do that later, as well as put all the accessories and all that crap on. We just don't have time to do it tonight. We ran out, so that's how it goes sometimes.